So bad cops. This is gonna be a. I guess might have to just scroll down the article slowly and try to. I can, but pretty much we're gonna break down the sketchy history of the Louisville Police Department.
The
They
Louisville Sluggers.
oh who called them that?
Because it seems like that's what they think the job is, you know, slugging
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So this is important. I want to put a backdrop of Louisville before we talk about the police. Pretty much, we want to talk about this, like the background in Louisville, about the poverty in Louisville. If Phil can scroll up to the headline real quick, we can read out the headline. The true cause of household poverty in Louisville should make everyone uncomfortable. And this is
Or makes
from
some people, it makes people more comfortable because they've got poverty in their lives, but they're like, hey, black people got it worse. So, you know, it's all good.
so so this is the backdrop of a police department that abuses its community in an impoverished community. So hopefully we can check out this article from 2018. Just to give the backdrop of the economic situations and in Louisville before we go to like why we need more cops, why we need all this stuff, why people are scared of defunding the police. So if we go to the next article, uh, pretty much. So this is a shooting that happened. So this is actually a shooting that happened in 2017. It's almost the same kind of circumstances. They pretty much said that the person that they shot up was like, Incredible Hulk with a weapon, and so and they come to find out, witnesses said that the person didn't have a weapon. It's a crazy situation. And then another situation where someone was mentally disturbed and they killed him in a hail of bullets. And so it's just the history of Louisville. Because I'm bringing this up because they say that shootings went down. They came up with a report recently saying that all of a sudden they're saying that there was less shootings, but in reality, we go as far back as 2014 and show that shootings have gone skyrocketed in that city pretty much.
You're talking about police involved shootings. Uh,
Are you talking about when bullets hit walls and make walls and like
mm,
furniture sad?
right.
Uh, yeah, that's when we put that on the record pretty much. So I mean, now we have pretty much testimony of like the attorney general withholding the actual ability to charge the officers from the grand jury, which is highly disturbing to hear that from a black person doing that.
You know what's really funny about that situation too
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that when the judge said that basically ordered Cameron to release the footage, he originally said, "Oh yeah, I'll release it," but then he's trying to push it off as far into the future as possible because he never even recommended murder charges. That weren't even part of anything that was brought to the grand jury. So I believe that when he's going to look for some way to try to doctor the tape or redact some of the stuff that was said or what have you, but in reality, he thought that the grand jury testimony or the proceeding was going to be sealed and it was going to be kept anonymous and quiet.
No, but
But
now
now that the
people want to
judge is
see
saying
it.
that you have to release it, now we're going to see exactly who Cameron is and who he serves.
Exactly. And they pushing it. It was supposed to come out today. Wasn't it
Yep,
supposed to come out today?
yep. Or
Yeah,
it's supposed to
and
come out on Friday. Friday. But
last
he's
Friday.
trying to figure a way to get out of it.
Yeah, so this is history of like previous situations of them getting away with this kind of similar stuff. So at least, and who knows if these officers still running the streets in that city, or in another city, or in a small town. That's the problem, because like when these officers get, they get either they can get as extreme as fired. They eventually can pop up in another police department. Um,
Just like that
so
cop
even
that
though the
killed Tamir
stories,
Rice. He just popped up in another
yeah,
police department.
yeah, even though we can dig up stories about try to investigate about certain cities when a police shooting happens, like George Floyd, people go into that city and say what happened to those police departments 10 years ago, 20 years ago. you also have to wonder, where are all these cops now who did this crazy shit? It's like, there's no accountability in that aspect of,
Yep,
like,
they're still carrying a badge, still carrying a gun.
so that's a
Maybe
lot.
laying a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not seeking out, super dangerous situations where they have to pull their gun again, but they're still out there collecting the money that the taxpayers pay. You know, I don't know.
So, yeah, it's crazy. So if Phil can drop the next article that hopefully people can check out on the internet, try to break through that news feed that only shows you ads, for whatever ads they show you. I can't even tell you what world you're seeing on Facebook. Year 2017 as well. Um, there has been 4 police shootings so this is like, I don't know. I have no words to say about this department. That's the same weirdo on stage. Remember him? He's still saying crazy stuff about, locking up the animals and like sterilizing them, all kinds of crazy shit. That's him on stage. Um, so so this police department is just, they're comfortable with what they've been doing in the past. So Daniel just played into that culture, So it wasn't hard for him. He did the easy route. He did the easy thing, just letting it go and move on with his life. So
I
because
mean, look
that's
at the position of power he finds himself in today. Look at the
yeah,
wealth that he probably has been able to amass, that he
yeah,
probably does not amass if not for basically selling out people that look just like him.
yeah. Even with for the department with this kind of history, he still did this. So that's what makes it even more troubling to me in some ways. He's a professional who knows the history of these departments, and he still did these things. So you can go down the list, you can see these dates of these shootings that happened with cameras, either without cameras. This is to give context of this police department. And then hopefully people can pull this up. There's all these different scenarios, whether they were, whether they had to do it, whether they did. It's just the fact that, like, they lie about so much, it's hard to tell. It's like, so maybe some shootings had to be justified. Maybe someone was a monster with a bunch of guns. But how can you tell when they say everyone has a bunch of guns and knives?
Yep. And the thing
So
is, if people, again, the public trust is such, it it really plays, like, even if there is a justified shooting, if we don't trust you, then all your shootings come into question.
yeah, yeah. So this is the recent sketchy history. Um,
If you tell me every single time that you shoot somebody that they had a gun, but no gun is recovered every time, how am I supposed to believe you the next time you say that they had a gun?
yeah,
Or they had, because the thing is, again, being in possession of a firearm in Louisville, Kentucky is not grounds for execution. Being in possession. Now, if you're pointing the gun at the officer or you're firing it, that's another story entirely. It's not like New York City where they do not respect our Second Amendment rights here, right? It's Louisville, Kentucky. So you can't give me the same song and dance. Well, he had a gun. Well, legally, everybody there can have a gun. How come we're not seeing you, going off, being scared of all the white people that you come across who are also packing?
who go
We're
on
not
the
hearing about
stop?
them being shot all the time.
They go into Starbucks with like rapid kind of draw, like magazine
Yeah,
hoisters.
they even have the holster where there's like a flap that goes on your belt, and when you go to like move it, the whole gun moves out of your hip.
Yeah,
And so it's like you can like just very easily just kind of grab it like out of your waist, and you're just like ready to draw, like
who's?
right there.
Who's coming for you? For Velociraptor? Like, what the fuck? What kind of? Like, who's coming for you? That you need that kind of firepower at a target. So,
I don't know. It is a target, right? You go on a target.
a target getting throw pillows for like your middle-aged wife.
I mean, if you walk
You
into
know,
a place and there are a bunch of targets everywhere, I think you're supposed to shoot them. Low prices every day. Bang bang.
oh, don't give those guys ideas, man.
You're gonna see signs all over the store with bullet holes in them.
Oh no. So
Oh
this
shit.
so this is the recent sketchy history. Yeah, pretty much. Hopefully, people can check that out. Research yourself as we move on. I mean, the last debate, the presidential debate, we didn't get. I don't know. Did people even? They didn't even say Breonna Taylor's name during the debate. I'm not even sure.
Why should they? They believe that, that she should have been killed in her sleep anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard that she was not actually sleeping at the time of the shooting.
Oh, now they're saying what? Now they're
Yeah,
saying
they're
what?
trying to say that she wasn't actually shoot. They're trying to do anything that they can to try to change the narrative.
She was doing jumping jacks and sit ups.
Yeah,
Yeah. Getting
yeah.
ready. Getting ready.
I guess it was saying that they were watching a movie after midnight. Like it makes it any better that the cops just bust in your house after midnight. Well, they were watching a movie, so it was okay to shoot her. It's all right. Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's Bad Cops. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter. Check us out, and do the research yourself. Don't let the news feed brainwash you. So